Moistcritikal, also known as Charlie, is currently getting cancelled on the internet for having a completely normal, understandable, everyday opinion. Oh, by who exactly? Well, obviously, it's just a bunch of leftist woke lunatic losers with mental illnesses. I mean, who else would it honestly be, right?
Hey, what's up, guys? Rick here. So today we're going to be talking about the crazy Moistcritikal situation. I'm sure pretty much everybody watching this video has come across Moistcritikal at one point or another in your journey on YouTube. But one thing that is very rare, despite the countless topics he's talked about, is situations where people are trying to cancel him. On my own channel, I think there's been maybe one situation where people were trying to do that, and it was like by proxy in a situation he really wasn't involved in.
The last time I remember he got cancelled, and by the way, why does cancellation happen so often with Charlie? Well, it's pretty simple and self-explanatory. A lot of people call him a fence sitter. I would not actually call him a fence sitter. I just think he literally does not care about a lot of things. He does not care to have. He actually does not care to have opinions on things. Asmongold lies about his opinions. Charlie actually just literally could not care less. But that makes his opinions extremely unoffensive. And so he's garnishing a massive audience from all sides of the spectrum because, well, his opinions don't really have a context to what is wrong, what is right in a lot of situations. So, that kind of happens. And if you are like that, the moment you have an opinion that has nuance, and I'm talking about literally any amount of nuance in this situation, some side is inevitably going to be extremely unhappy with you. Because you previously were a blank slate. Everyone could claim you're on their side because you didn't express any opinions. But now that the moment you do, some people are going to be extremely upset about that. And this is the situation. Granted, I remember there was a situation like this previously. I don't remember what it was about. I think it was like a year and a half ago or something. But when that happened, I mean, it took a day and Charlie was literally making an apology video. I'm sorry, I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. So, I wonder if it's going to happen this time. Well, it's not going to happen this time. There's no way he apologizes for this.
But anyways, today there is a very recent push to cancel Moistcritikal, and it comes from a video he made about 3 weeks ago that personally flew under my radar. I didn't even know he made the video on the subject, and I saw this post yesterday from Kazahana pointing out that people on TikTok were trying to cancel Moistcritikal for his comment.
People on TikTok with the attention span of roughly 0.3 seconds were trying to cancel someone. That's a hoot.
About Charlie Kirk. Now, this is the video in particular. As you can see, he released.
God, I absolutely love the fact that you just know he doesn't have a chin. That's so nice.
The video about 3 weeks ago, shortly after the assassination.
But guys, he's obviously a Trump supporter, bro. I can't. The left is just so fucking blatantly mentally delusional. To try and claim that this guy was a Trump supporter. Insane.
Of Charlie Kirk that was fueled by political violence, and he made a very bold statement in the video that political violence is always wrong. Despite even differences you have with their opinions, that does not justify it. Now, if you've been watching Moistcritikal, I'm sure you probably weren't too surprised by that, but there was a noticeable portion of his audience that was very angry about this. You can see the like to dislike ratio, and this is not some iDubbbz video where he's, tanking a 50-50 ratio, but most of...
Yeah, that's like 12% levels of disapproval. That's 12% disapproval right there. That's something.
Moistcritikal's videos have like a 99% like to dislike ratio, so having this sort of a proportion, about a 10% dislike ratio, that's pretty significant. And
no, bro, that's even significant for me, okay? I typically have a 3 to maybe 5% disapproval. But granted, this is a YouTube extension, and all of those extensions are just calculation algorithms. So maybe this is not true.
I say this not in a mocking fashion, but his audience is kind of known for being normies. And you see this reaction from a notable portion of his audience who are very upset about his message. And that I think is pretty alarming. So let's listen to what he said in this video and what will be shown in the TikTok where we see the most unhinged reactions.
But this definitely does seem to be a politically motivated assassination, which, if you ask me, is a horrible thing. And my heart breaks for the family that is now without a father. I think it is bad. I know, classic Charles with a grass is green take. So let me be crystal clear here. I think the assassination of Charlie Kirk, everything that happened here is horrible. I think it is horrific, awful. I think it is terrible. And I'm aware that some people have been celebrating this. I find that to be disgusting. Of course, after all this happened, I did see a bunch of the clips that people were tossing around from like his talks or
Destiny, Hassan openly celebrating things like this. Well, I think Hassan now has more brains than Destiny to actually say, oh, this was not good. Wink, wink, probably in that situation. Destiny's just openly advocating for violence. Asmongold is also there because he's constantly advocating for breaking the laws and shit. Dude, these people are insane. Like, you don't need to be on anyone's side, by the way, here. We do not win with any of these blatantly autistic, social deject extremists. We win if all of them just vanish. We win then. We do not need them. If you hate Hassan, that does not mean that you need to support Ethan Klein. If you hate Eden, that does not mean you need to support Hassan. It's that simple. We can hate both of them, and that's it. We can hate both of them. It's that simple. We do not win by supporting the other side of idiocy.
From debates, and it's things I don't agree with for sure. But even still, what happened here is bad. Even though I didn't agree with him from all of the things I've seen, it still doesn't change the way I feel about this being a horrifying, terrible thing that happened to him. Political violence or violence of any kind like this, I think, is just unacceptable, and it's extremely scary.
So yeah, pretty simple stuff. He said, despite even not agreeing with things that Charlie Kirk has said, I condemn political violence. It's horrible, and if you disagree with that point, you are simply wrong. And that made people very angry. Now, most of the top comments are positive on YouTube, but if you're refreshed by new, it's very unhinged. Okay, people are still seething about it every couple of minutes on this video, despite the fact it's been out for weeks. But this is the TikTok that was mentioned earlier in the video, and this is someone who shared that message 3 weeks ago, and the comments on this are insane. And it shows you the kind of radicalization going on places like TikTok. So one of the top comments right here begins by saying, conservatives, kids being killed today with no...
Killing someone for a different opinion is peak fascism. 159 comments. Ooh, that struck a nerve.
regard. Charlie Kirk being killed today, and all of a sudden now they've awakened. And of course, you can see someone saying, not a conservative, but do you spend every waking minute feeling sorry for all the kids who you don't know who have passed away?
Yes, Jesus Christ. Again, this is just mentally unhinged.
And the person who made the original post said, yes. So this person...
Bring back asylums, okay? Mental awareness should be a mental indenturement.
...is trying to convince you that you are bad if you don't spend every waking minute of your existence mourning over the deaths.
But obviously ignoring the fact that this is a lie because these people lie constantly, and the fact that even if this somehow wasn't a lie, which it clearly is, this would be impossible, and I mean, a life like this is not actually worth it. Imagine you woke up every day and thinking, oh my god, the other people that I don't know, have never seen, are currently having not a great day. Bro, what do you... Dude, that is just some kind of specific mental illness. Must be a liberal white woman in her 40s.
...of others. Like, this is the kind of Stretch Armstrong level reach that they're trying to make. They're basically saying you're not allowed to mourn an individual's death if you're not mourning other people's deaths every waking minute of your life. And that's not an exaggeration. They said every waking minute of your life. That's the kind of people we're dealing with here. Here's one with a lot of support saying, explaining to people that murder is wrong in the Big 25. We are doomed as a society. Now, I noticed that this one, for example, has 8,000 likes. I saw this TikTok yesterday, and I think the new traffic on it has boosted a lot of the positive comments, because a lot of these had a fraction of the likes that they do now, but we have another one.
Well, again, thank God most people are normal, and this is a opinion that most of us, pretty much all of us, share. You know, even if you haven't actively thought about this, you obviously feel and understand for the opinions like this. Thank God most people are like this. They're not mentally delusional Destiny fans.
One saying Moistcritikal greater than vanilla. I think that was another content creator who had a different take on the Charlie Kirk assassination. This person saying killing someone for a different opinion is peak fascism. 100% right. Do you understand how many people have called me and others who have condemned political violence over the past couple of weeks fascists for doing so?
What the fuck does that even mean? I get called fascist on a regular daily basis just for existing. I don't even need to talk about Charlie Kirk's assassination being bad and wrong and horrible, okay? I just get that in the general. What the fuck do you mean you're only getting called that? Well, if you're not getting called something like that every single day, you're doing something wrong. You are not trying hard enough to make the world a good place.
Ending someone because they have a different political opinion than you is the literal definition of fascism. That is a core component. So the fact that people condemning it are being given this label shows we're living in an upside down society right now where these people are just so far gone. But of course, this one says also, I know his fans are so mad he's showing compassion. As we pointed out, there was a significant amount that were mad. But down here we have a great dichotomy. This person says, W take from the legend. The next comment says, oh wow, L take from Charlie.
Yeah, this is not even a legit 1-to-3 ratio, by the way. That means there's a lot of fucking insane and hinged lunatics just out there being insane and unhinged. And granted, it's so hard to say if these people exist in reality or mostly secluded on the internet. But in any case, I don't think it's a good thing that they exist in general.
Yeah, Charlie with the crazy takes. When I say Charlie, let's not get confused. Charlie as in Moistcritikal, not, separate that from Charlie Kirk. We're just going to refer to Charlie from YouTube as Moistcritikal for the rest of this video. Let's try to keep it from getting confusing. But here's another one saying, I'm not celebrating, but I'm definitely not mourning, with 13,000 likes. And this is such a weird take that I keep seeing. Nobody is asking you to mourn his passing, his murder. Nobody's asking you to mourn it. You don't have to feel bad or anything like that. You can feel completely indifferent. But people are saying don't celebrate. And more importantly, don't glorify acts of political violence and don't ask for more. As we've seen, you can check out any video pretty much from the last 3 weeks or so on my channel. There are infinite people, whether it's politicians, people in trusted positions of society like doctors and teachers, and also content creators and just regular social media users who are not just celebrating, they're encouraging more political violence. The fact that people are not understanding what the real concern here is, well, concerning. But let's read this next one. Oh, it's a doozy. As a white man, you have zero opinion or stand.
Starting a sentence like this makes me just not want to instantaneously read further because whatever he's writing, it's brain rot. It's pure brain rot. 6,000 likes of brain rot, though. Sad.
On this, it's okay to mourn him, but telling people of color, LGBTQ/women, that their actions are disgusting and wrong when it's their oppressor, not yours, is extremely weird.
No, it's not weird. This is completely normal. This is okay. What the fuck? This is not reaching. This is reaching for the sun, okay?
I'll let you see here. That has 6,300 likes.
This is literally if a person decided to write the description of the pregnant man emoji.
So this guy's saying if you're a white man, you cannot talk about or criticize people celebrating the murder of another white man. So what can you even talk about these days? It's very strange. And are you going to also say, they say women, can Erica Kirk, his now widow, can she have an opinion on this? Or is that
No, she would have the wrong opinion, obviously.
just, you know, an exception that you'll rule out? These people are insane. They live among you. Many of them can actually vote.
Well, to be absolutely fair, 41.
That's terrifying. Here's the next one saying, I will never have sympathy nor empathy for a fascist.
Is that a footy emoji? Kind of looks like a footy emoji. I think that's a footy emoji. Opinion denied.
See, and this is the problem right here. They call everyone who disagrees with them a fascist, and it is a dog whistle. And I know that term has been used very flippantly over the years, but this is a very coded thing where they're trying to say to crazies out there, this guy is a fascist, he is an existential threat to you, do something about it. And they hope someone out there crazy enough will do something about that. That's why they label people they don't like as fascists. And I want to show you how crazy this sort of rhetoric gets. Just today, there's a big scandal going on in the Virginia Attorney General election, which is a very important position for that state, where the Democrat candidate Jay Jones has been busted with personal messages where he was fantasizing about the Republican House Speaker, Todd Gilbert, his political opponent, where he fantasized.
Oh yeah, I'm reading this. Oh yeah. About being shot. Very cool. Very normal. Very expected.
About him being shot and that he would piss on the graves of Republicans and even fantasize about.
I mean, that's a Destiny viewer right there.
The offing of him and his wife's children. Here's the text messages. If these guys die before me, I will go to their funerals and piss on their graves. Send them out awash in something. And then they say Jay Jones, referring to this person who's running for the position. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew
Bro,
with the 2
what the fuck?
worst people you know, and he receives both every single time.
I mean, pretty base from a Democrat saying that we need Hitler back, not gonna lie.
And the person receiving this says, Jay, please stop, showing that they're very uncomfortable by this conversation. And he says, LOL, okay, but he can't help himself. And the other person says, it really bothers
To be absolutely fair, by the way, this is how fucked up Democrats are. And I'm not actually talking about this conversation. Okay? If this guy honestly says, I'm just letting steam off because this is a private conversation, I would not even berate him that much. Kind of still fucked up that you said this, but a little. Because Democrats never talk like this, and they are the people who are saying, oh, you should never do that. And the reason why they're failing, they're a bunch of fucking idiots. It's very simple, in my opinion. It's the fact that, well, they say you can't do this, but they themselves do this. Rules for me, but not for thee, as always.
me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death upon them. And then he...
Oh, what a fucking pussy. What a fucking pussy response. Like, bro, this has to be some kind of Democratic man. Oh, what a pussy.
continues on saying, I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. And then...
Oh, and then it's... These people... They're fucking evil, and they have no backbone to speak of. It is insane. It is insane how fucking insane all of their ideologies is. How it just doesn't make sense. Like, the typical loony ideology is like, okay, this exists, and they all collide together and they don't work because one needs to destroy the other. It's insane. Oh, man. Anyway, that was Rev Says Desu 10 out of 10. Bye.